Hold on. I gotta move that. Okay. A divine warning by the prophet for the nations. The citizens for all free national governments, according to the national constitution, are all of one family bearing one free national name. Those who fail to recognize the free national name of their constitutional government are classed as undesirables and are subject to all inferior names and abuses and mistreatments that the citizens care to bestow upon them. And it is a sin for any group of people to violate the national constitutional laws of free national government and cling to the names and the principles they delude to slavery. I, the prophet, was prepared by the great God Allah to warn my people to repent from their sinful ways and go back to the state of mind of their forefathers, to that the state of mind of their forefathers, divine and national principles, that they will be law abiders and receive their divine right as citizens according to the free national constitution that was prepared for all free national beings. They are to claim their own free national name and religion. There is but one issue for them to be recognized by this government and of the earth. It comes only through the connection of the Moorish divine national movement, which is incorporated in this government and recognized by all other nationals of the world. And through it, they and their children can receive the divine rights, unmolested by other citizens, that they can cast a free national ballot at the polls under the free national constitution of the state's government and not under a granted privilege as has been the existing condition for many generations. You who doubt whether I, the prophet, and my principles are right for the redemption of my people, go to those that know law in the city hall and among the officials in your government and ask them under an intelligent tone, and they will be glad to render you a favorable reply, for they are glad to see me bring you out of darkness into light. Money doesn't make the man, it is free national standards and power that makes a man and a nation. The wealth of all national governments, gold and silver and commerce belong to the citizens alone, and without your national citizenship by name and principles, you have no true wealth. I am hereby calling on all true citizens that stand for national free government and the enforcement of the Constitution to help me in my great missionary work because I need all support from all true American citizens of the United States of America. Help me to save my people who have fallen from the constitutional laws of government. I'm depending on your support to get them back to the constitutional fold that they against that again that they will learn to love instead of hate and will live according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, supporting our free national constitution of the United States of America. I love my people, and I desire their unity and mind back to their own national and divine standard, because day by day they have been violating the national and constitutional laws of their government by claiming names and principles that are unconstitutional. If Italians, Greeks, English, Chinese, Japanese, Turks, and Arabians are forced to proclaim their free national name and religion before the constitutional government of the United States of America, it is no more than right that the law should be enforced upon all other American citizens alike. In all other governments, when a man is born and raised there and asks for his national descent name, and if he fails to give it, he is misused, imprisoned, or exiled. Any group of people that fail to answer up to the constitutional standards of law by name and principles, because to be a citizen, any government, you must claim your national descent name, because they place their trust upon issue and names formed by their forefathers. The word Negro deludes in the Latin language to the word nigger. the same as the word colored alludes to anything that is painted, varnished, and dyed, and every nation must bear a national descent name of their forefathers, because honoring thy fathers and thy mothers, your days will be lengthened upon this earth. These names have never been recognized by any true American citizen of this day. Through your free national name, you are known and recognized by all nations of the earth that are recognized by and said national government in which they live. The 14th and 15th Amendments brought the North and South in unit, placing the Southerners, who were at the time without power, with the constitutional body of power. And at that time, 1865, the free national constitutional law that was enforced since 1774 declared all men equal and free. And if all men are declared by the free national constitution to be free and equal, since that constitution has never been changed, there is no need for application of the 14th and 15th Amendments for the salvation of our people and citizens. So there isn't but one supreme issue for my people to use redeem that which was lost, and that is through the above statements. Then the lion and the lamb can lie down together in yonder hills, and neither will be harmed, because love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice will be reigning in this land. In those days, the United States will be one of the greatest civilized and prosperous governments of the world. But if the above principles are not carried out by the citizens and my people in this government, the worst is yet to come, because the great God of the universe is not pleased with the works that are being performed in North America by my people, and this great sin must be removed from the land to save it from enormous earthquakes, diseases, etc. And and I, the prophet, do hereby believe that this administration of the government, being more wisely prepared by more genius citizens that believe in their free national constitution and laws, and through the help of such classes of citizens, I, the prophet, truly believe that my people will find the true and divine way of their forefathers, and learn to stop serving in carnal customs and merely ideas of man that have never done them any good, but have always harmed them. So I, the prophet, am hereby calling aloud with the divine plea to all true American citizens to help me to remove this great sin which has been committed and is practiced by my people in the United States of America, because they know it is not the true and divine way, and without understanding they have fallen from the true light and utter darkness of sin, and there is not a nation on earth today that will recognize them socially, religiously, politically, or economically, etc. In the present condition of their endeavorment, in which they themselves try to force upon a civilized world, they will not refrain from their sinful ways of action, and their deeds have brought Jim Crowism, segregation, and everything that brings harm to human beings on earth. And they fought the Southerners for all these great misuse. But I have traveled in the South, and I have examined conditions there, and it is works of my people continuously practicing the things which bring dishonor, disgrace, and disrespect to any nation that lives in the life. And I am hereby calling on true American citizens for moral support and finance to help me in my great missionary work to bring my people out of the darkness into marvelous light from the prophet.
Wow. All right. Brother Benjamin Bay, I got so it's an astrology piece, but this book is called Medical Astrology.
Yeah.
A little more specific, pertains to the medical field and astrology.
Gotcha.
Let me know if it's big enough, if you can see it.
I got my zoom in.
You want me to zoom in?
I got you. Oh no, I was saying I can kind of like pinch the screen.
Okay.
All right. Chapter 1. The planets, Uranian planets, the planets, Uranian planets, fixed stars, and health.
My bad.
Sorry, baby. The planets. In medical astrology, the planets indicate functions and malfunctions of specific organs or systems in the body, depending on what sign the planet is positioned, posited in a birth. For instance, Mars always implies a potential area of acute inflammation, a flaring up of specific condition. If Mars is in Gemini, that could be an acute alignment involving any of the Gemini ruled areas, such as the tubes of the body. Which tube is affected would have to be discerned by careful analysis of the entire chart, the person's past medical data. If a woman has experienced your time complaints, there could be an your time
Like urine, like
The uterine,
uterus,
uterus,
uterus.
like
uterine.
uterine,
like it,
uterine,
like uterus.
like uterus. Okay. Appreciate that. There could be an infection involving one of the flamboyant tubes,
Fallopian.
tube, or if a person has the past history of lung trouble, flare up, or bronchial irritation, or pylorus. The planets then indicate how a specific organ or function of the body will be affected. There may be also a leak in the etheric web when a person contracts an alignment. Although this is not always the case, the medical astrologer who can see the auras will notice the organ or part of the body that is diseased, disabled, or not functioning up to par. Will be pulling in the aura in that area of the eggshell oval surrounding the body. This phenomenon results from the more
Whether Benjamin Bay, I'm not sure how you're looking at it, but you're supposed to go down. Yeah, you went kind of over. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, so where it says the sun, vitamins A and D.
The sun, vitamin A and D, minerals, iodine and magnesium. No number of words can express the sun's importance to everybody's bodily function. The sun should never be overlooked in a natal chart because it is vital importance and energy to a person's entire well-being. All inherent vitality, prana, flows through the sun. The sign it is found in, it will tell us how the energies are being dispensed within the given lifetime. Metaphysically, the sun is our heart chakra, through which all emotions flow. As Dr. William Davis has said, it is the fire of life, ruling the etheric body, a very fine web-like filament that encases the physical body, the container for the energy that flows into the physical body and keeps it functioning steadily on a daily basis. This presence of an etheric is why X-rays, radium, or electrical burns do much damage to the physical body. If the etheric is burned by the invisible high-frequency rays, the container surrounding the physical shell develops a hole and a leak appears, taking Islam, brother.
Islam, everyone.
Brother Abdullah, Larry Bay, peace and love.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
Peace and love.
All right. Taking vitamins, minerals, cell salts, herbs, or other internal or external aids can sometimes help this condition. Davidson implies that goose grease applied externally will help to seal the etheric, or that the vitality of the sun energies is not allowed to dissipate. What do you get goose grease from? Sunshine as well as vitamin A is also healthy in moderation. Be careful out there. All right, from the top, going this one. Wait. There we go. There may also be a leak in the etheric web when a person contracts an alignment. Although this is not always the case, the medical
contracts an ailment.
And although not always the case, a medical astrologer can always see auras, will notice that the organ or body part of the body that is diseased, disabled, or not functioning up to par will be pulling in the aura in that area of the eggshell oval surrounding the body. This phenomenon results from more energy being diverted from other areas and pumped into the whole to sustain its minimal functioning. A diseased organ will also appear yellowish green to the person who can look through the physical shell, but medical astrologers, unless clairvoyant, should stick to the ends of the chart and lab tests to get their answers. On the physical plane, the sun is the center of life, the life giver to our physical bodies. Its zodiacal sign is Leo, which medically rules the heart. If the heart is sluggish or impaired, then your entire body will suffer. We might think of the sun as our engine. A faulty diet may cause the engine to falter or sputter, and without a good engine, the energy provided by Mars becomes wasted. On the other hand, if we have regular tuning our diets and getting physical checkups, we can stay in top running form. To have a strong pulsing life force, the heart, we need sufficient vitamin A. If a person is not getting enough of this important vitamin, there will be a short somewhere in this circuitry.
Circuitry.
Mm-hmm. Or thinking. And he or she will possibly develop a heart ailment, even though most heart problems are fixed cross in origin. Insufficient vitamin A can cause a variant of heart ailments, such as anagia, perturchios, arteriocoliosis, atherosclerosis, myocardial, infarctional, and congestive heart failure. Wow, these words like Mike Tyson today. The sun also rules magnesium, found in abundance in most green plants. The sun, chlorophyll, and magnesium have a direct chemical relationship. Without the sun, no chlorophyll, no magnesium, and the magnesium is found in such quantity within the body that we cannot live long without it. With magnesium, a long list of ailments can manifest. In fact, with too little magnesium, death is inevitable. The moon. Vitamins. Right?
So before we get to the moon, what have we learned as far as the sun?
That's extremely important.
Got vitamin A, D, iodine, magnesium. We've got a sluggish heart if we don't get nutrients from the sun.
Yeah, it's kind of like a car. You need gas, oil, lint, spark plugs, all those things. Might be like your liver, your lungs, those areas. It's just the heart.
Brother Shalom Bay, Larry Bay, peace and love. All right. All right, so let's go. All right, the moon.
The moon, vitamins, riboflavin, vitamin B2, minerals, potassium. Where's the sun? By sign and aspect shows the constitutional quality of the body. The moon tells the conditions of the health. Because of this sensitivity, the moon is a good indicator of when to undergo operation or not. For example, a person should probably not have surgery on a board of course moon day. Board of course day tells usually mean that the surgery won't be done correctly. Further complications will be found or done, or a second operation will become necessary. I once had a client who, against my advice, underwent a nose operation on a board of course day, and she had to return 2 or more times. For her fourth operation, she came back to me and asked for a good date. The sign position of the transiting moon may also indicate a favorable or unfavorable times for operations. In general, the transiting moon should be in a fixed sign: Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. The transiting moon is in fixed signs helps ensure that the operation will go as planned and helps the hands of the surgeon steady with no extra complications. Possibly the worst time for surgery is when the moon is in a mutable sign: Virgo, Gemini, Pisces, Sagittarius. Those are times of too much flexibility. Who wants to go in for a gallbladder operation and then have the surgeon decide to also remove the appendix? A person should probably also not have an operation on that part of the body ruled by the sign in which the moon is transiting. In other words, for a gallbladder operation ruled by Capricorn, an individual should not undergo surgery as the moon transits through Capricorn. A gallbladder operation should also probably not be performed when the moon transits Cancer, Capricorn's polarity, i.e., avoid the opposite sign when possible because there is a definite reflex action involved. The amount of fluids within the body would also determine the best period for surgery. In general, the moon is responsible for the fluids, tides in our bodies, the levels of serum, water, blood, etc., just as the tides of the oceans draw in and out from shore. The body fluids do about the same thing within our physical shells. When the moon phases, these levels tend to drop or rise. At new moon time, our fluids at their lowest points, and there is a resultant weight loss. Thus, the best time for an operation is 5 days before or after the new moon, when there is the least chance of swelling, bruising, or bleeding. In contrast, one should never undergo surgery 5 days before or after a full moon, when the body fluids are at their highest and can cause excessive swelling, hemorrhaging, and seepage from wounds. Since the moon regulates the body fluids, its transiting position may also determine whether or not there is a need for riboflavin. For instance, the fluid in the skull is at its highest at full moon, or exerting pressure on the brain and potentially making a person in need of riboflavin more irritable, more easily upset, or more sensitive. So if the person is suffering from a deficiency of riboflavin, symptoms may be more severe about 5 days before the full moon, and the deficiency may lessen toward the new moon. In addition, the amount of potassium a person needs may be determined by the bodily tides. The fluids surrounding the cells may as well as our weight loss or gains of water are dependent upon potassium. A woman who has planets in Cancer, especially in cure weight gains or loss of 5 pounds a month, dependent solely upon the fluid distribution in her body. If the fluid is retained and not slothed off through its various limited channels, a weight gain is noticed about five days before full moon each month. What if I like bloated, maybe? Toward the new moon, the weight gain will lessen, the body will be at low tide. Much of this problem can be controlled by proper amounts of potassium being available in the body to keep the fluids in balance. A prominent moon in the natal chart also generally indicates a drug-sensitive individual. In particular, if the moon is in singleton of a chart, or if in particular if the moon is in singular of the chart, if it is conjunct the first or 10th at cusp within 8 degrees. The patient should receive a lower dosage of any medication, about 1/2 usual dose. Finally, the position of the moon in a natal chart will help establish a person's emotional needs. Good health is not just a matter of eating the correct foods. It is a interweaving of diet, emotions, mental attitudes. If emotions are misdirected, suppressed, or repressed, they can build up a fester in subconscious mind. Such festering is equivalent to a viral microbe entering the body and hibernating until the time that it erupts into an ailment. If emotions such as guilt, anger, jealousy are not properly dealt with, they can cause illnesses.
Okay. So before we go to Mercury, what have we digested with the moon? Anybody can chime in.
It like fluctuates your insides, like how the high and low tide, the moon pulls the high and low tide, it kind of pulls in you too.
Excellent. Like so it's like we go to the beach, it's a full moon, the waves are gonna be crazy, right?
Yeah, I ain't know that. That's deep. You know what I'm saying? but it makes sense because when you ground, you know what I'm saying, the earth gravitational pull pulls the toxins through your feet. So it makes sense. But it's very enlightening. I appreciate that one, brother.
Yeah. And wouldn't that be an example of as above, so below?
I was just gonna say that as within, so without.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See, I'm as far as that term is concerned, family, like I'm addressing everybody when I say this. I'm kind of, I grew up Christian like probably many of y'all. And that as above, so below thing and the Baphomet and all that, I dropped down the rabbit hole, but I was focused on from a Christianity standpoint. And I'm kind of still battling if that's really like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying, what you preaching and teaching is not real. I'm just saying, I'm just being honest. Inside, a little bit of part of me is still like, when I do the knowledge on things, my mind still want to go to the Christianity standpoint of thinking, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, I feel you. Yeah.
Well, also too, I wanted to chime in. This is Brother Bay, man, Larry Bay.
Peace and love.
Peace and love, man.
Peace and love. I was gonna tell you, man, your body, that's why water is so essential, because we're all connected to nature. If you get into the astrological terms of the body itself, your body moves and reacts with nature. For example, the moon itself, the moon creates tide. Well, if you 70% water, the tide rises and lowers and raises within your body as well. It's the same thing. It's the same. It's nature. It's combined. Nature. Everything is vibrating. Everything is nature around you, even including yourself. So the moon, the sun, the planets and so forth, it is all connected. It's funny because I was reading Clock of Destiny, part 1 and part 2, man, and I advise everybody, man, to cop that and read it, get into it, and man, it'll start opening up a lot of this knowledge on the astrological terms, man. Anyway, I yield the floor. I'm sorry.
No, peace of love. Peace of love, man. You got something? Yeah, go ahead, Brother Abdullah.
Yes.
Peace, Elder. Peace, Elder.
Let me just Christianity. Let me just the comment on Christianity. So because the Europeans are hijackers. They're culture bandits. They're hijackers. They've commercialized our culture. This is for everybody. You want to get the book Egypt, the Light of the World. Egypt, the Light of the World, volumes 1 and 2. And he shows the comparative analysis of the Bible scriptures and where they got it from. The Bible scriptures are on the wall, on the stones. That's the Bible scriptures. The Bible, when you read that. So he shows the where the Europeans got the stories from. The word Christian, let's go to the etymology of the word Christian. The word Christian, Krishna, and karas, is the oil that's secreted in the brain. George Bush cannot be a Christian. What do you mean, Abdullah? I'm looking right at him. And just look at George Bush and look right at him. He cannot be a Christian. He can say Christian, I'm a Christian all he wants. He's not. The karas is the oil that's secreted in the brain. Since we talk about the sun, like is a source of energy.
Wow.
I recall being in class one day. I was a substitute teacher, and there was this is a ninth grade science class at Woodrow Wilson High School in Camden, New Jersey, and the teacher has a PhD, teaching at ninth grade science class with a PhD, and he was saying that he said, I was standing in the back of the room, and the lesson was on photosynthesis. And he said, which was not part of the lesson, it was not in the textbook, as you know. He said that he drew an analogy. Melanin, photosynthesis is photosynthesis is to the plants, is what melanin to black people. This is this direct quote. Photosynthesis is to plants, is what melanin is to black people, the sunlight, you know. So I'm like, whoa. I was surprised that he had said that. You know, so he's drawing the analogy of the process of photosynthesis being to plants in the sun, and that same process is what to quote unquote black people. And I said, whoa. So that is the study of Christianity. The Europeans hijacked it. So the sunlight stimulates the serotonin and melatonin in the brain, the neuromelanin. So the word Christian is a biochemical word. The Europeans hijacked it, like they've done everything else. They hijacked the word, reconstructed its meaning, and claimed to be Christians, and claimed to be the founders of Christianity. As long as we do not know that we're the founders of Christianity and that we are the Christians, and then we point to them as being the Christians, and then we point to them as being the developers of the Bible, they still have the power. Because they took our stuff, reconstructed it, claiming it, and then we're saying that it's theirs. The basic tool for the manipulation of reality is the manipulation of words. Those who control the meaning of words control the people who must use them. So we'll use modern constructed meanings, means that they're controlling, our conquerors are controlling us. All right, because we don't think outside of the constructed meanings. I mean, we'll go to a dictionary and we'll look up a word. I mean, we'll look up a modern meaning. So that conveys a thought. So we don't think outside of that. Wow. So we're trapped into this colonial box. Wow. So we don't, I mean, you can meditate all you want. I challenged somebody years ago, well, you know, I meditate. You're not going to meditate outside of your constructed, you're not going to meditate outside of the constructed paradigm that the Europeans forced on us. So you can meditate all you want. And talking about, well, I'm free from that, Abdullah. I'm free. No, you're not. You're not free from that, because you're not going to meditate. I mean, thinking, you're not going to think outside of the constructive conquesting paradigm. Talk to me now. Talk to me.
Talk your shit out. I hear you.
Talk to me. So this whole I'm free because I meditate, and I mean, you know, that sounds good. It sounds good. It sounds good, but is it real? Are you going to meditate outside of, you're not going to think outside of any destructive paradigm unless you now start thinking beyond connecting to our ancestors. I mean, that if you are, all right, let me use the example. Let me example. Born in sin. Let me use that example. So I have to use the example so you understand where I'm coming from.
Born in debt.
All of us are born in sin, which is a good thing. Now, how many of us think that's a good thing? How many of us, right on this call right now, think being born in sin is a positive thing?
Nope. You about to tell me the real, but nah, I don't think it's about.
Exactly. See what I'm talking about? This is
Right.
what I'm talking about. The word sin. This is exactly what I'm talking about. So now you're gonna meditate outside of that. Well, you think born in sin is a bad thing. So you're already controlled. You think born in sin is a bad act. And so you're not going to think out. That's how you're thinking. So if you meditate, you're going to meditate like that too. Born in sin, sin is the Sumerian name for the moon. Sin, Sumerian. Sinana, moon, modern English. Lune, moon. That's Latin. So we got this. We got 3 languages. All right, Sumerian, Latin, and modern English. All sin, lune, and moon denote the same body. So sin, what does the moon do? The moon revolves around the earth 28 days, 13 times. The word mensis, the word month, menstruation, mensis, means moon. So the 28 days relate to the woman, doesn't it? That's governed by the moon. So the fertility, so moon deals with fertility. So being born in sin, meaning that the egg is what? In the fallopian tube, in the ovary, right? So being born in sin is the fertilization of the egg. Deals with fertility. That's being born in sin. So what they did was they hijacked the word, reconstructed its meaning. All right, let's look at Lucifer. In the Bible, Lucifer does refer to as the light bearer. But people read past that. You know what I mean?
So is
light
Jesus
bearer.
in Revelation.
It does mean light bearer, but Lucifer refers to the planet Venus. Now, why does light bearer relate to the planet Venus? You have what's called the planet Venus rises before this 260 days, where the planet Venus rises before the sun. That's called, so it's referred to as the bright and morning star. There's a 52-day transitional period. Now Venus rises after sunset, known as the bright and evening star. So Lucifer, Lucifer and Jesus are fighting each other. So Jesus is the actual sun. We are the founders of Christianity. The Europeans are the hijackers and distorters, the reconstructors of Christianity. They're not the founders of Christianity. They're the hijackers of Christianity and distorters of Christianity. The Bible doesn't belong to them. So, brother, I talked about the concept of Jesus dying on the cross. And I did that back in December here on this platform. Jesus does die on the cross every year. I just want to give the proper concept of Christianity, because it's important that we claim our culture. I know these Afrocentric folks, they're really not Afrocentric. I know they claim to be Afrocentric. They're not. They're not Afrocentric. What do you mean, Abdullah? They wear dashikis. They wear the ankh around. You know what I mean? And, they beat the drums. Yeah, but they say that Christianity belongs to the Europeans. They say that Christmas they say that they don't celebrate Christmas. They celebrate Kwanzaa. So how they're Afrocentric? How they're Afrocentric when they say they don't celebrate Christmas, they celebrate Kwanzaa? They're not Afrocentric. In fact, those who still celebrate Christmas are more Afrocentric. Those who still celebrate Christmas are more Afrocentric than those who don't celebrate Christmas. All right. Those who celebrate Kwanzaa and don't celebrate Christmas are less Afrocentric than those who celebrate Christmas and don't celebrate Kwanzaa. I'm gonna explain. I just try to get y'all a shot. Try to get y'all shocked up first. All right. Because I try to get you to, all right, because this is what Afrocentric folks think. Afrocentric folks think that those who are in the church and celebrate Christmas are not Afrocentrics. I'm saying, I'm challenging that. They're more Afrocentric than those who don't go to church, and those who don't celebrate Christmas, and those who don't celebrate Christmas celebrate Kwanzaa. Those who celebrate Christmas and those who are in the church are more Afrocentric. Why am I saying that? At least they're celebrating the holiday that we established. At least they celebrate, right? Christmas, the Jesus dying on the cross is the winter solstice. The sun is at its lowest point of declination for 3 days. All right, so you're looking at, there's 2 points where the sun, and I talked about this in December, there's 2 points where the sun is at its outer limits. That's the summer solstice, June 21st, and the winter solstice. Our ancestors charted this 1,000 years ago. So the sun is at an extreme northerly point on June 21st in the northern hemisphere, and an extreme southerly point on December 21st in the northern hemisphere. It hovers for 3 days because it's making a transitional period from its, now it's going to go back from its northerly southerly point, and then days begin to get longer. So Jesus rises again from the dead. So after the 3rd day, Jesus rises again from the dead, and then days begin to get longer. Look at the sunrise sunset charts. So just giving the astronomy to it, the empowerment is for us to reclaim our culture. The X, the flag, the Confederate flag, that's our stuff. That's our stuff. All right, look at this. What does the Black Panther do? What does the Panther known for? Arm crossing his arms. Look at the Confederate flag. Where did they get that from?
Yep.
It's right in front of our face. Ooh, the Confederate flag. Ooh, see what they did was they hijacked our stuff, distorted it, just like they did the goat. The goat is a symbol, ancient symbol of fertility. They distorted the goat. You know that creature don't exist anywhere in the world. That gory-looking creature doesn't exist anywhere in the world. They took an ordinary goat, our culture, and the reason that in a moon society, in society that honors and governs their society by the moon calendar, the goat is paramount. The goat is used because of the crescent-shaped horns. When you first see the moon, you see it when it's at its first quarter. So it's already at what, 7 days later. It's already 7 days if in its cycle when you first see the moon. You don't see the moon during a new moon phase. You first see the moon during the first quarter moon phase when it's at a crescent-shaped position. So when it's at a crescent-shaped position, when you can see it, that marks the beginning of a month. So the Europeans hijacked that to suppress the culture. So they hijacked the goat and distorted it and misrepresented it as the devil, the cause of the world's evil.
Elder, I got a question.
Yes, please.
All right, check it. Everything you just was saying, I agree with you. The thing about Christmas, you was like, the comments you made about people that still celebrate Christmas, you know what I'm saying? Like, I took this out of the scripture, the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 2-4. It tells us not to take the way of the heathen. So who is the heathen in the scripture that they talk about? Are they talking about the European?
All right, let's stop there. Let's analyze. All right.
What?
Cutting down the heathen. Heathen means unbarren. All right, means barren. All right, uncivilized, heathen, heath, and heath. A heath is a barren land. A heath is a barren land.
Okay.
So that's a distortion there. The word pagan, which comes from the word paregenes. It means villager. So those who lived in the villages and who were farmers, who cultivated, that's proper to call them pagan. What the Europeans did was to reconstruct the meaning. They took the word pagan and made it negative. I'm a pagan. That's a positive thing. Don't you want to be a pagan? Don't you want to farm? Don't you want to be a pagan again? Don't you want to farm?
Wow.
You see what I'm doing?
I see what you're doing.
All right. Isn't it good to be born in sin? See what I'm doing? This is what I do. Because what the Europeans did, I know what they did. They poisoned us. They poisoned the words.
And real quick,
they poisoned the words.
Brother Abdullah, real quick, Benjamin Bay put in the chat a couple of books that you wrote dealing with Venus and
yeah, how Venus and Moon rule.
Yeah, so everything.
Yeah, how Venus and Moon.
Yeah. Yep.
Timekeeping, yes. On mooresandmasonry.org. Thank you, brother. Yes.
Yeah, it's in the chat right now.
Thank you.
Get a visual.
Yes. The visual. All right. Just let me go right to the chat.
Yeah, he put everything you pretty much was saying.
Oh, yeah, see, there you go. See, yeah, my man. Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Yeah, I didn't want to stop you, but
Elder,
go to the chat, y'all. Hold on, brother, before we move on. I want people to go to the chat since you directed my attention to the chat, because this is visual. That's why I'm saying let's go to the chat, y'all. That's why Mafi. I know Monty. I'm sorry. Brother Mafi referred us to the chat, so because it's visual. Thank you, Brother Benjamin. All right, so let's look at the visuals, because I'm saying one thing, but if you see the visuals, that's why Brother Mafi stopped me, because he knows the impact that visuals have, and that's why Brother Benjamin put it in the chat. So we want to. I want you to go to the chat because you can see the effect.
I'm looking.
Yeah. I'm
I'm
saying words and stuff, but if you see visuals, and then with my saying words, saying something, it makes a greater impact on the mind. That's why Brother Benjamin put it in the chat.
Wow.
Because he knows that. So does Brother Mafi. So let's look at the chat and you see what they did. Let's go to the let's go to here, the Baphomet. See what they did? I want y'all to look at this. See how they hijacked our stuff? All right. Question: why are people afraid of the Satanic Temple? 9 feet. 9 feet. See what I do? 9. What does 9 refer to, y'all?
9.
The number 9.
Yeah, 9 is a strong number.
But no, I know. But what does it? Give me some reference though. Give me how many months you spent in your mother's womb?
9 months.
9. There you go. See? Why 9 feet? Why not 6 feet? Why not 5 feet? Why 9 feet? Why 9 feet? No. I'm saying that the statue. Let's look at what's here. The height of the statue is 9 feet tall. Why 9 feet? What does the number 9 refer to? The number of months you what in your mother's what?
Womb.
At full stage. At full stage is 9 months. If someone comes out their mother's womb in 7 months, they say what? Prima, 6 months, prima, 5 months, prima, 8 months, prima. There you go. So what? So the mature, the end cycle is what? 9. The full maturity is what? 9 months.
Okay.
Yep.
See? Now let's analyze this. The goat, Baphomet, crescent shaped horns. What does the crescent shaped horn refer to? What? The moon.
Yes, the
because
woman.
the first sighting of the moon is what? When it's at the first quarter. When it's what? At a crescent shape shape. That's the 5-pointed star. This image is emblematic of the 584 day cycle of the planet Venus, measuring from the beginning of the two. So I'm saying here is that people looking at this, they've been groomed into, ooh, that's evil. Ooh, 5-pointed star. Ooh, yeah, the devil. Ooh, yeah, the horns. Ooh, right. You see how they're controlling us? Now, how are you Afrocentric? Now, how are you Afrocentric when you're afraid of this? How are you Afrocentric when you're afraid of this? Ooh, that's the devil. Ooh, the horns. Ooh. How are you Afrocentric? I'm challenging those who claim to be Afrocentric. I'm saying they're not. I'm saying they're not.
And also too for the brother Shalom, because the brother mentioned seeing how they're dealing with the moon. They mentioned Mount Sinai, and that's equivalent to the temple of the moon.
There you go.
Seeing will be the
there you go, there you go. There you go. I mean, it's an observatory, moon observatory, Mount Sinai. There you go.
Yep.
Okay, okay. All right, hold on.
I love it.
Hold on. Hold on.
Hey, that's
Elder,
good, brother. I love it.
Elder, it's like a total flip-flop. You feel what I'm saying?
That's what I'm
this whole shit is a whole flip-flop.
That's what I'm saying.
I am so pissed right now. Like, what? Okay.
Saying. Exactly what I'm saying, brother.
And how was they so smart to teach you that everything?
Don't give me that. Brother. They ain't all that, brother. Stop. Wow. I ain't calling. Man. I'm not giving them all that, brother. I ain't, brother. Man. Brother,
there ain't no way, man. All this stuff. Wow. Okay.
Brother, let's look at this. We the intelligent one, brother. Hold on, brother. Remember, we created all this. Hold on, brother.
True indeed.
All right. Hold on, brother. All right. We are the ones that created sound to the glyph. What they did was took that and then made some modification from it. They didn't create though. Well, I mean, how are they all?
I can see that in my lifetime, I can see how creators. We are the trendsetters.
Imitators, they're hijackers. All right, brother. All right. You got control. You control me. You take the culture, right? And all you're doing is distorting it. You ain't got to be that intelligent to do that.
Damn.
You just distorting. Well, let me. Oh, that.
I still hang in the hood, bro. Our people is fucked up.
Man, I ain't giving them all that.
Our people is not like these people on the group chat.
Really dumbed down.
Our people
just really dumbed down. They're not really smart.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Wait, say that again, brother. They dumbed down. What'd you say?
They're not super smart. We're just super dumbed down at this moment.
Thank you, brother.
Okay.
Thank you, brother. That's why I can't give. I'm not giving.
It's not them. It's us. It's not them.
Thank you, brother. I'm not giving them all that. They this and I'm smart. Nah.
I don't know.
I can't, brother.
I can't give it to them,
brother.
I feel you, Elder. I ain't mad at
them, bro.
It's the distractions. We talking about basketball, football, booties, diamonds. I'm from Houston, swangers, drink. I got homies. I'm gonna tell a homie about Moorish science, and he gonna tell me, say, bro, you remember in high school when nah, bro, I just told you everything in life is completely
bro, I just told you everything.
See, it's not them. They laughing because they weak individuals. They genetically they're weak individuals.
That's what I'm saying, brother.
The ISIS papers. They're scared of the phallus dominating the world. The melanated phallus can destroy them. They're not super.
I know they the weaker race. I haven't even been built. I know they the weaker race.
That's what we're saying.
The zombie movies, they scared of the zombie gods waking up again within themselves. So it's not them, it's us. It's wrong.
That's why I said can't give them attribute all that. They smart and they this, they all that, and I ain't.
Nah, I wasn't saying that like that, Elder. Come on, I just was saying the shit was mad conniving.
You kind of was
sneaky.
You kind of was.
It was mad sneaky. It was mad conniving. They put in our face big booty bitches, BBLs, diamonds, rats, all that bullshit, and we clung on to that.
That's the
Yeah, but
test.
we
They
got
say, look,
Yeah,
our white girls don't got all that, but yours do, and we gonna pay them to keep
That's true.
keep y'all out of there. We're gonna pay them.
That's true. That's true, brother.
Word.
Fake money. We're gonna pay them fake money.
This shit crazy. Like this right here, Elder. I thank you for that one, bro. That was deep, Elder. I thank you for that one. You always got one when you come true. You know what I mean?
My man.
I like that. I
My
appreciate that, Elder.
Hey, can I say this? Can I say this? Hey, Abdullah Bey, hey, I love you so much, man. I've been on this for some years. Bro, you are a juggernaut in the heavyweight. I love Mafia. It's a pleasure to be on with all y'all, but it's for sure a pleasure to be on.
Bro,
This
true that.
man, this more is
I'm saying the same
godlike.
thing for sure.
You
Like
tired,
I've
you
been
know
in the
what you are
game like a
leading me,
couple
my G.
months, and so much
Hey,
I
whatever
learned.
he telling you,
I be
I was
out here
learning this and
roaring
telling
like a
people this
lion.
years
Y'all
ago.
don't even know.
I've been telling people this Abdullah Bey type stuff. And they, they think I'm tripping out here. But then years later, time go by, they say, "Oh, Keno, oh, Celine, all that Moorish, the Muslim, yeah, that stuff." Y'all say, "Yeah, oh yeah, it's everywhere." I was more Peru. I was banging. So we talking about Crips, Bloods, folks, all that. I'm like, that's all that. That's encompassed in all that. Christianity, Islam, all religions, all this stuff y'all praise. That stuff is embodied in a simple way in this. So I've been telling about you, Abdullah. I love you, man. You're a juggernaut. It's a pleasure to be on here with you, bro. You feel me?
Word up.
Islam to you, Mo.
Like, hey, yo, when me and the Elder first met, I was like, damn, he kind of strict. You know what I mean? But
juggernaut,
once I
ruthless.
listened to him, I'm
I
like,
love
word,
it.
we
We got to go
good.
at they next.
You know what I mean?
We got to do that to ourselves. We got to go at ourselves. So how he come, we got to go at ourselves like that. So I love you. Let's go. Mafi, hey, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, that's what it is, bro. I second that, bro. I second that. Word up.
You go back to videos back in the early 90s, the same passion is like on this call right now. I promise you.
That's why you
felt that. You go, oh,
it hurt. I
I
talk to grandmas. See, I talk to old people. I talk to grandmas and pastors and uncles.
Mine's
We have
gone,
good
but y'all
conversations.
talk to her all the time when
They
she
tell
was
me
here,
go on
man.
with all that. They say you right, but go on because they feel bad. I'm 36 and they double my age. You know what I'm saying? I hurt feelings. I heard
my
old people
grandmother had me in church all the time when I was little. Like I know all about that, but I always had something in me. You feel me, family? I always had something in me. Like all of us on this call, we've been through whatever we've been through. We always had something in us that made us want to seek something different. You know what I mean?
I was an Urshan, a super Christian. I was up in the arguing fight with them
like
as a
that's
full
why
Christian.
I told y'all
talking
I was
about
like
asking questions and they couldn't give me no answers. I've been fighting with pastors when I was 12 and 13 as an usher, serving people in the church. They knew I was vicious, but my papa was from Cali. He gave me pistols and stuff. So I was a vicious. I'm hurting people in the hood. I'm beating niggas. So, I was disciplined and structured because of church, but I was vicious. You know what I'm saying? So I had a good balance. And then when I found this out, no J's. It was the J for me. It was the no J's in like 09. And I listened to like Jay-Z. Third album, I was trying to say, they was like, this nigga evil. I'm trying to do rap. So I said, let me go see how evil this nigga is. I went back and listened to all this shit because I ain't never listened to nothing. And he was talking about, it wasn't this. I'm like, ain't no evil in this. Way
bro,
more this stupid shit. I'm like, this man is a genius type shit. And he was talking about what Abdullah talking about. And so I'm like, oh, this is a whole nother understanding. It flips everything. So I was right about having these internal questions as a young boy in church. Like, it's something going on. I got one little brother. My little brother's gay. I'm like, how is it all this sweetness in the church? How is it all this flip homosexual? How is all that up and up? You know what I'm saying?
It's all an agenda.
My brother still messed up. He on meth and all that because I blame church. I say church weakening men.
And the music.
I say, look, the church is not for soldiers, but I'm a soldier. I came to church with targets, trying to show my uncle, my other grandma. They like, man, don't bring that in the church. I'm like, look, I'm in the middle. I'm hitting the target. Like, what? Y'all ain't proud of that? But, I'm like, man, I'm a soldier. I don't care. That's why I started gangbanging and shit. Because I was good at football. I used to go 5-6 touchdowns for halftime. I was good. But not because I was better, because I just had this energy. I was turned up.
Man, when's the last time?
2/13, I was born on Friday the 13th, February 1987. I was born on Friday the 13th. Like I'm a nightmare or something. Oh no, I'm not bad luck. I'm good luck type shit.
But you know what Friday the 13th refers to, right, brother?
Absolutely.
No, we don't. What you gonna tell me, Elder?
Spain, getting put out.
Let me give it to you. All right.
Islam.
All right. Our Friday. That's the Fria, F-R-I plus day. So F-R-I is the root word from the Old Norse Friga, or Freyga, Frigga, or Freya. That's
The
the
goddess of
old
war.
no fertility. That's
The goddess of fertility.
That's the Freyga is the goddess of fertility. Denotes the planet Venus. All right, so that's Friday, planet Venus. In Latin, it's Viernes Dies, day of Venus. So get the Latin and Spanish word for Friday. It's
Absolutely.
Venus. All right, right. So it's the Venus. So now, what does Venus have to do with the number 13? All right. Once again, so you have the number 13. So Venus, I mentioned before, that 5-pointed star that's behind you, brother. The 5-pointed star right behind you. All right. Every 500, that cycle is in the sky. That cycle is formed in eight Earth years. Every 584 days, the Venus transitions between the Earth and the Sun 5 times in 8 Earth years, forming that 5-pointed sky and star in the sky. All right. So it's 8 Earth years and 13 Venus years. You're on mute. You're on mute. You want to say you're on mute? Salim, you're on mute. I know you were talking.
Oh no, I'm just in the grill. Islam, no, but keep going. I'm just in the grill.
I got you. Yes. So the 5 to the 13. The 13 is also refers to the 13 cycles of
lunar
the moon.
cycles.
The lunar cycle.
Islam, like exactly. The turtle's back. Like the turtle's back.
There you go. You got it.
Does it have anything to do with the 13 constellations?
I'm on it, Abdullah. I give people Abdullah. Not I've got yes, sir.
I also can picture what he's talking about in the chat about the 13 and Venus traveling 13 times around the Earth.
You put in the
and the numbers are special. 2013, I was 26.
So
13,
is it 12 constellations or is it 13 constellations?
13 lunar.
It's 13 constellations, correct?
No. Let me explain constellation. The word let's look at the etymology. Constellation.
Right.
Stella is star.
Stella star. Exactly.
C-O-N is the prefix, which means together, with, together, like.
Together.
So a constellation is 12, a band of 12 grouping of stars. Like what I'm saying is Leo itself is not a constellation. The constellation is where all 12 form the constellation. Okay. A band of grouping, a band of 12 groupings of stars. Venus, Aries is a grouping of stars. Taurus is a grouping of 5 stars. Scorpio is a grouping of stars, and you put those 12 because there's other ones out there. But you put those 12 groupings together. That's called the constellation.
Gotcha.
You clear on that?
I got you.
All right. I just wanted to make sure you were clear. You used the word constellation. Make sure you were using the word correctly. You were using the word incorrectly.
Got you.
All right.
Mm-hmm. So Leo would be the zodiacal sign.
Yeah, Leo is just one grouping of stars. That's all. Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, Taurus, Gemini. Those are groupings of stars. And then they put together within a band called a constellation. As Stella is star and C-O-N is the prefix, means together. Stars together, or 12 groupings of stars together to forming constellation.
Right. And Brother Shalom, we dealing with you might have confused that with the cycle. When you mentioned 13, talking about the cycle of the moon.
Yeah, that cycle is different than constellation. Yes, good. Yes, that's not different word, different application, different function. Yes.
Okay.
Larry Bay, did you have something? I heard you with Larry Bay.
No, I'm good. I was, the brother was mentioning about the church and how it leads, young brothers astray and so forth. And I was just about to chime in on it, but it's not of any importance. But I agree with everybody, on the floor right now. I'm in agreement with
I
everybody.
put in the chat. I put in the chat advanced study group session we had. Recording of the advanced study group session. You see that in the chat. Link to the recording. So that's you have access. That we have the advanced study group every first and third Thursday of the month. All right. It's a closed group. So but we're making the recording available for everyone. All right. And the material. Mafi, I'll send you the material. I'll send the material right now and you can share it. You know what? I might even put the material, the link in the chat. So I can put the link. Give me 1 minute. Let me see if I go here. Telegram. Let me see if I can put the link in the chat.
I thought I saw it. I thought you put it in there.
Yeah, that's the Saeed.
But if you want to, while he's doing that, you want to continue Benjamin Bay with the Mercury piece.
Oh yeah. Mercury, vitamins, thiamine, vitamin B1. Since Mercury rules the nervous system, its placement in a natal chart can indicate mental attitudes, and inflexible attitudes can stress the body. Although mental exhaustion is not normally manifested when it afflicted Mercury, the nervous system may take a severe suffering, buffeting, perhaps resulting in nervousness, tension, and inability to relax. Some people need to control their worrying, allowing themselves to worry only when they haven't done anything within their powers to change the outcome. The proper attitudes are important well-being, and if we mishandle our emotions, we can become sick.
I can relate to that, man, because by being a Virgo, that's my ruling planet, and I stay thinking and always over pondering. I think that's a nervous spectrum. You know what I mean? So I can relate to that.
My girl, always being so critical. I was like, it's all good. Nothing's happened just yet. We good. But we might also view the planet Mercury as a kind of traffic director influencing various movements within our bodies. The messenger of the gods, it is also the messenger of the nervous systems, relaying split-second commands throughout the body. Furthermore, in ruling Gemini, Mercury has dominion over all tubing in the body, the channels through which blood, hormones, enzymes, and oxygen move. Finally, Mercury may partially rule the hormones dispensed glands in the body. Hormones are themselves messengers sent out to gather certain cells together to initiate enzymic functions in the body so that the metabolism can continue on a stable course. Mercury rules Virgo as well. Thus, the planet is involved with the splitting of actions and the pancreatic breakdown of sugar into glucose. A process may be affected when there is insufficient thiamine because a faulty diet or predisposition toward too many processed foods. A thiamine deficiency also lowers the amount of hydrochloric acid, HCI, in the stomach. In turn, the food is only semi-digested, so that when the bile is poured into the duodenum, the first 11 inches of the intestine, it cannot properly break down the fats. This malfunction causes further problems such as colitis, diverculosis, flatulence, heartburn, and diarrhea, many of which come under Virgo's rulership. Mercury is also closely associated with thyroid, and it seems to have significance in thyroid problems with or without the influence of Taurus, co-ruler of the thyroid. However, in thiamine-related deficiencies, the thyroid usually presents a second or third symptom, and it is not a chronic or indicator of a thiamine deficiency. When transiting When transiting Mercury is retrograde, it is probably a poor time to schedule an operations. Signals can get crossed. A woman might go in for a simple appendix. I don't fucking know that one. And come out without a uterus. That's crazy. During Mercury retrograde, the wrong drugs might be given or the dosage may be wrong for the individuals. Misunderstandings may occur between doctor and nurses and patients, or doctor and patient. Such a transit might even second operation will be necessary. I'll let you go down. I'm just gonna go across. Venus. Just talking about Venus. Vitamins, niacin, vitamin B3 and E, minerals, copper. Too many students of medical astrology tend to overlook sweet ILO Venus.
Little old Venus, little old Venus.
Oh, little old Venus. Okay. Sweet little old Venus, because it has a reputation of being harmless and soft planet and capable of any foul play. But Venus can be interfered with to such an extent that it does rule, becomes diseased and alien, ruling over Taurus and Libra. Venus helps regulate the throat, thyroid, and kidneys. The planet also has dominion over half the circulatory system, the Venus supply, and it is concerned with skin texture, its beauty, and flawless character. Venus can play a part in disease of the blood. It rules the Venus circulatory system, an intricate series of minute venules of blood vessels that start out being barely visible and then branch out. The differ from the arteries in that they are larger. There are more of them, and they have thinner walls. The halves with valves to prevent the backward wash of blood circulation. Veins along with the kidneys, liver, and the heart, Leo, are especially important to blood pressure in general, partially regulated by niacin. Weak artery or vein walls, as well as aneurysms under proper configurations, also Venus phenomenon. Oh, what's the fuck is that? And in some instances, Venus seems to have a secondary effect on red blood cells, partially formed by copper. Venus ruled vitamin E is also valuable in circulatory alignments such as phlebitis, ebolisms, thrombosis, and dilation of the vessels of the arterial and venous systems. It keeps the body supplied with a pure source of oxygen that in sufficient amounts gives the outer body of Venusian radiance or attractiveness and health. Venus also governs lack of muscle tone in the body. Although Mars rules the muscles, Venus has an integral relationship with its siblings planet. Mars represents tight, healthy muscles, whereas Venus, in opposite, indicates a potentially lack of or tone or tightness. Soft or weakness muscles without sufficient niacin can be muscle cramping. Finally, Venus, as well as Jupiter, controls what one likes to term of food, the texture, taste, and quality. Since wrong foods can damage a person just as fast in bodily terms as wrong emotions can, Venus must be carefully looked at in the natal chart. For example, its placement may indicate a person with a sweet tooth or one who tends towards obesity. An individual with a prominent Venus may go on binges, gorging on sweets, and gaining weight. Since Venus also deals with the need for love, a person with a poorly aspect Venus may also eat an inordinate amounts of sweets to achieve a sense of affection he or she feels is not supplied by others. Venus dictates how we feel about others. If we like ourselves, we'll probably have a good diet. If we dislike ourselves, we tend to abuse our body with less nutritious foods.
Stop right there. How we feeling about that Venus section? How are you feeling about that? So I know we in the Moorish science we already know the alchemic metal of Venus is copper. So this is like a little cross referencing. It's also associated with niacin, vitamin B3 and E, and also dealing with the holy day, like the brother said, the day of Uranus, dealing with Venus. You know, in the Bible, the Genesis, they talk about the sixth day, original man came into flesh. The sixth day corresponds to Venus. We're also the copper tone original man, copper tone people, right? So it's a little cross referencing as well with this. But
I think maybe like since my Venus is in Pisces, it'd be like I like sweet juices. You know, so it's like sweet water. You know, I mean, some Venus is like sweet, and my Venus is in water, so I can see how my Venus affected me in that way, of my sweet tooth for sure. So I'll have to watch that. I don't love orange juice for sure, but too much orange juice.
Yeah, yeah, you can't shake it, man. You can't shake.
Wow.
Nature's order, right?
Yeah. I was like, oh,
So what y'all saying? Y'all saying like every planet pulls like certain things inside the body, basically? Like every planet controls certain things in the body?
Yeah.
Or influence, maybe.
Influence, yeah.
Planets are responsible for all.
Because if you remember, Brother Shalom, they were saying like, I believe it's at the full moon or 5 days before the full moon, you shouldn't get surgery because depending on where the moon is at, your blood is thick or it's thin, right? Because we're dealing with, you know, the rules over liquids. You know what I mean? Like you say, the ocean, the water inside you. So these are examples how they can affect you. You know, we can't shake it. You know. Anybody else want to chime in on any thoughts on this section?
I like I know y'all was talking about as above, so below, like as within, so without, or on heaven as it is in earth, to the extent where it's kind of simply like logical, to the extent where internally everything that's being felt is, like you say, influenced by these planets or these energies. Like it's a term, under the influence. If you're drunk, under the influence. And then there's I had a manager, he used to manage me. His management company is called Above the Influence. Above the Influence. He was a boxer, but it's like the influence. So I tell people, as an Aquarius or as each sign or whatever, even though I'm an Aquarius, I'm this, I'm supposed to, oh, you act like this, you do this. Just because I'm an Aquarius don't mean I have to submit to the influence. I don't have to submit. It's like, if we get developed, you know, that strength, mental, spiritual strength, we can overcome these influences of who we supposed to be. I'm stuck as an Aquarius, so I can only make these mistakes, and this is what I like, and you know what I'm saying? But like, I know with discipline, you know, it's like we can conquer our lower selves, which is the physical, you know. So as above, so below, get to your higher self. You conquer the physical you, the lower you, your lower desires and the things that would naturally attract you and bring you down to this earthly realm. And you can resonate on a higher realm within yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like who you used to be, who you thought you was, who you grew up to be. You can not have to submit to that. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to say that with that concept of as above, so below, it's like absolutely higher self, lower self, and not having to be under the influence of, oh, I'm this, so I have to do this. Like I told a person, we don't have to be the 12 pieces of the zodiac puzzle. We can try to conquer all those energies and become the center point, which would be what I think what I learned one time, that's the 13. You got the 12 with a center point, the connection to all of it would be the 13 or something like that. Abdullah can probably give you, you know what I'm saying? But I just want to throw that in there, you know, just to probably simplify that concept that as above, so below, it's automatic, because higher self, lower self, on heaven is in earth, but it's mental government. It's all mental. So heaven is in the dome, King Dome. It's in the, you know. Anyway, it's going.
Those are good. Good explanation, brother.
That was deep, bro. That was deep.
And I wanted to say real quick.
Thank you.
Wanted to say real quick. That's why the one-liners of Noble Jew Ali, know thyself. You want to know your chart so you can know your tendencies, your impulses, and if those tendencies or impulses naturally want to take you to a space that's detrimental, you can you can rise above that. But you first need to know yourself first to even rise above it. Because if you don't know yourself, you're gonna be aggravated, like, wow, I'm feeling like this. And you want to know why, you know what I mean? So I wanted to say that.
It's like we talked about last time, that polarizing yourself. So it's like brother was saying, I don't have to just act like an Aquarius. So sometimes he can, be Leonian, the other side of Aquarius, the polar reflection.
My rising is a Taurus, right? It's other influences. Taurus. I got Taurus rising, right?
Like, so I got a problem, brothers. I want to ask y'all. I got a problem, and I need some advice. Okay. All right, here we go. So back in my day, you know what I'm saying, I was out there in the streets, you know what I'm saying, chasing the women. You know what I mean? Now I'm married, and it's like you know what I mean, I'm doing the right thing as a husband, but like something keeps like making me feel like I should go back out there and I shouldn't be here. You know what I mean? Like, what is y'all advice on fighting that demon? Because I've been fighting it for a while. I've been staying true, but it's getting hard. You know what I'm saying? It's like to the point where certain things my younger wife does, and she shows her youngness. You know what I'm saying? And it makes me feel like I need to be somewhere else. It's like my energy is higher and everybody else's is like lower. Like, what do y'all think? Because then the elder was like, you know what I'm saying? If you programmed a certain way, you're going to meditate a certain way, which is real. So it's like, if I meditate on this, I need to meditate on a whole different perspective. But it's like I'm stuck because I don't know. I don't know if that's my spirit guide telling me you need to get the fuck out of here, or, you know what I'm saying? Or it's just the enemy trying to fuck with me when I got a good thing going. I don't know. But I'm telling y'all now, that shit hard, bro. All this, everything is resonating with me because it's like a spiritual thing, and certain shit draw you a certain way or whatever. Like, it's crazy, bro. But that's real. I ain't even gonna tell y'all all my business, but you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, it's me more so than my wife. It's like, I don't know. I mean, what do y'all think? Any of y'all? I don't care who chime in. Ain't no secrets. We all family. What y'all think I should do?
Let me give you something real quick. First thing I thought about was Kendrick Lamar, "Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe." So I explained to people how, I'm learning from all the gods. Vibration. We are vibration. We are 6 protons, 6 electrons, six neutrons. We are the same as carbon in the we the sun. We the sun in the sky, and lower polarized. With polarization, we polarize into genders, female. So male, female. So balance, yin yang. Our like job on earth is to balance ourselves off, like offset. We're supposed to offset ourselves. So when you get married to a woman, y'all become one. So bitch don't kill my vibe. If we growing and we vibrating higher and higher and learning, and the things we connected to is at a lower vibration, it's like it's a vibe killer. So it's like you say when you meet somebody, so yeah, we vibed, so we related, relativity. So the law of relativity. If you dealing with people around you in old situations and it's not vibrating the same because you done raise your vibration, and like when you turn the bicycle upside down, you turn it real fast. First you can see it, then it start going backwards, and then you don't see nothing at all. That's because it's vibrating so high you can't even see it no more. So we get to the point we start vibrating so high, the things around us are still low vibrations. They still on some carnal stuff. So it's hard when like bitch don't kill my bitch. Like it's not saying bitch, but it's saying these energies, this old life is killing my vibe. So the biggest battle with me is people knowing I've been talking about certain stuff for so long, and now I'm finna become what I've been talking about, and that means less of I can't really see y'all no more. I can't talk to y'all no more. I can't be around y'all no more. I can't live in the world I used to be in. So when it really comes down to it, it's gonna be a transformation. You're gonna have to. It's all about how you gonna compromise yourself with dealing with what you connected to when it comes to family and wives and kids and family. And then it's saying my vibration is here and I got to do this. Mafi say he got someone on 17th. I don't care what's going on. That means I need to be out there because I'm dealing with different energies. So when I'm dealing with Moorish signs, like Mafi, last year, I went through stuff. But when I'm in it, oh yeah, everything stops. I don't celebrate holidays. I don't see nothing else. So my vibration is here. So everybody else, man, I got my daughters, whoever I'm dealing with, they know, oh yeah, if it's not in tune with what I got going on, I can't see you. I don't even care because I'm me. Yeah, that would be for my kids, my gal. You know what I'm saying? That's fair. But I just say that
that's
the
real.
Don't kill my vibe.
And that's where I'm leaning. That's where I'm leaning with everything you saying. But then a part of me is like, nah, Lon, don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't
You
right,
know
you know what I'm
by
saying?
yourself. Who you gonna listen to? That's all I gotta say.
Ah,
Islam
yeah,
on somebody
okay.
else, man.
There
That's all I
goes
got.
some.
I mean, I'm not a husband and all that, but I'll say, get the circle 7, the chapter of instability of a man, and then the duty of a husband. But read them in that order though, because your man is
It is
mind, so you gotta have your mind together before you go try to be anything, husband, brother, boyfriend, worker. So, like I said, I'm not a married man, but you know, I'm in a relationship, so it all start with mine. So, like you said, you like, oh, should I do it? Should I not? That's instability. You know what I'm saying? That's imbalance within yourself. So I would say reflectively look at those 2 chapters, instability of a mind, and then go check yourself as a husband. Not like check yourself, but say it all start with self. So and then start looking at what's around you and move from there.
That
But
Quran that Quran powerful than the Bible. And that circle 7 Quran, like you said, them 2 chapters. Oh man, that it's whatever it is for the kids, the wife, it hits everybody powerfully. So for sure, he right on that, man. Go straight to that Quran and get that inspiration because it hit perfectly in a simple way for sure.
I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. I'll be back in like 2 minutes, and then we're gonna get into the Quran and close out.
No doubt. Anybody else want to chime in? You feel free. I'm all ears. Appreciate y'all advice. Islam.
no problem, right?
Can you guys kind of fill me in what the discussion was? I kind of missed out what you guys were talking about.
Did you hear her, Noble?
Nah, what happened?
She was like, fill her in on what, like, the conversation. Well, since the topic was what you brought up, what you're going through and all that.
Oh,
She didn't really privy about what we was talking about and giving you advice on.
okay. Is she still there? You still there, Queen?
Yeah, I'm right here.
All right. So I had asked the group, like, I'm back before I got married. You know what I'm saying? I was out there in the streets, just living a free life or whatever. Now I'm married. You know what I'm saying? I'm like fighting something spiritually, like inside, like. I've joined the Khalifa Society. I'm learning all this new stuff. My wife is not really into that. You know what I'm saying? She's got a 13-year-old daughter. So it's a blended family. And, part of me is starting to feel like this ain't it. And part of me be like, I shouldn't do it. And I was just asking for advice as far as how to meditate on that, how to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm stuck like at a dilemma, indecisive, so to speak.
And that's ironic, man, because this chapter that we had queued up, we on holy instruction from the prophet dealing with inconstancy. That's what the brother he just brought it up. He just talked about that chapter, so we're gonna go into that chapter right now. Let me see. All right, so this is chapter. Oh, did anybody else have any thoughts before I go into this, or?
No, we good.
I was like the next chapter over. He said inconsistency.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Yeah, thank you for sharing, brother.
Yeah, likewise for sure. That's powerful too. That's definitely bravery and humbling yourself because we're all peers at a certain degree. So we all want to look a certain way, and I feel like we the man all the time. So you're like, I ain't the man. I'm going through it. So it's long for you.
Yeah, it's big of you, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, so this is chapter 41, Holy Instructions from the Prophet dealing with inconstancy. When you look up inconstancy, that's inconsistency, lack of foundation. Nature urgeth thee to inconstancy, O man. Therefore, guard thyself at all times against it. Thou art from the womb of thy mother, various and wavering, from the loins, talking about the flesh, of thy father, inherited through instability. How then shalt thou be firm? So how does one be firm when You have these wavering emotions in the heart. Those who gave thee a body furnished it with weakness, right? The flesh is weak, but we have the power to transcend, right? But he who gave thee a soul armed thee with resolution. Employ it, and thou art wise, be wise, and thou art be happy. Let him do it well. Beware how he boasteth of it, for rarely is it of his own will, and not and not the event of impulse, from without born of uncertainty and forced by accident, dependeth on someone else, to thee, and to accident is due to praise. Impulse, and for the brother, the impulse, you might, I was gonna say before I left, to give it a fair shot once you are fully grounded within, then give it a fair shot, because nobody's perfect, and you, some person may be earth, your woman may be water. Those are two opposite situations, but y'all can assist each other, though, because opposites attract. But everybody got to be in their right self, though. They right, their proper self.
That's deep shit. That's deep.
Beware of irresolution in the event of thy actions. Beware of instability in the execution. So shalt thou triumph over two great failings of thy nature. What reproacheth reason more than to act contrarieties? What can suppress the tendencies to these but firmness of mind? Only way to be firm is to know, right? So you got to know yourself, know your tendencies, then you can be firm in your approach. The inconstant feeleth that he changeth, but he knoweth not why, right? If you don't know yourself, back to what I was saying earlier, you just, why am I aggravated? Why am I moody today? Right? Gotta get that chart. Gotta get that chart so you can know what to do to circumvent that, to rise above. He seeth that he escapeth from himself, but he perceiveth not how. But thou, incapable of change in that which is right, and men will rely upon thee. Establish unto thyself principles of action, and see that thou ever act according to them. So shall thy passions have no rule over thee. Right? You don't want your passions and your impulses to rule you. You just want to know they exist so you can know how to tweak them. So shall thou constancy, now we're talking about consistency now, not inconstancy. Now we're talking about so shall thou consistency ensure unto thee the good thou possesseth, and drive from thy door misfortune. Anxiety and disappointment shall be strangers to thy gates when you're consistent, when you know thyself. Now anxiety and disappointment is a stranger to you. Suspect not evil in everyone until thou see it. When thou seest, forget it not. Whoso hath been an enemy cannot be a friend, for man mendeth not his faults.
Heard that Gates said it the other day, not to cut you off, but like verbatim.
Who?
Kevin Gates, like the enemy no friend part, like verbatim. Like when you were saying like before someone does something, basically don't judge it, don't have a preconceived thought about something. But once they harm you or do something, that's Christmas. But wow, yeah,
right.
Yeah,
and then even then, you got to give somebody a chance to mend their faults, because if that person even go to the extreme, but they correct themselves over time, you can forgive them, but not forget. You don't forget, but you can. Okay, I see your actions. You didn't change. You got a track record now of having a new
capable of. So I got to be like, okay,
I got to give you that fair chance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How should his actions be right? Who have no rule of his life? Nothing can be just which proceedeth not from reason. The inconstant or inconsistent have no peace in his soul, neither can be at ease whom he concerneth himself with. His life is unequal, his motions are irregular, his soul changeth with the weather. Today he loveth thee, tomorrow thou art detested by him. And why? Himself knoweth not wherefore he now hateth. Today he is the tyrant, tomorrow thy servant is less humble. And why? He who is arrogant without power will be servile while there is no subjection. That's a cold line. Today he is profuse, tomorrow he grudgeth unto his mouth that which it should eat. Thus it is with him who knoweth not moderation. Right? Gluttony is not moderation. Moderation in itself is balance. Who shall say of the chameleon, he is black, when the moment after the verdure of the grass overspreadeth him? Right? Because now the chameleon is green now, right? Who shall say the inconstant? Who shall say of the inconstant, quote, he is joyful when his next breath shall be spent in sighing?
Yeah.
Right? The flip-flop, you never know. He inconsistent, you never know. What is the life of such a man but the phantom of a dream? In the morning he riseth happy, at noon he is on the rack. This hour he is a god, the next below a worm. One moment he laugheth, the next he weepeth. He now willeth, in an instant he willeth not. And in another he knoweth not whether he willeth or not. Yet neither ease nor pain have fixed themselves on him. Neither is he waxed greater or becomes less. Neither hath he had cause of laughter or reason for his sorrow. Therefore shall none of them abide with him. The happiness of the inconstant or inconsistent is as a palace built on the surface of sand, right? No foundation. It's equivalent to not having no foundation. Right? You can't build on nothing. If there's no foundation, you can't build. The blowing of the wind carrieth away its foundation, right? Like we just said it. What wonder then that is falleth? But what exalted form is this, that hitherward directs its uninterrupted course? Whose foot is on earth? Whose head is above the clouds?
Above so below.
As above so below, right? On his brow sitteth majesty, steadiness in his port, and in his heart reigneth tranquility, or balance, tranquil, peace. Though obstacles appear in his way, he denieth not to look down upon them. Though heaven and earth oppose his passage, he proceedeth. The mountains sink beneath his tread. The waters of the ocean are dried up under the sole of his foot. The tiger throweth herself across his way in vain. The spots of the leopard glow against him unregarded. He marcheth through the unbattled legions. With his hands he putteth aside the terrors of death. Storms roar against his shoulders, but are not able to shake him. The thunder bursteth over his head in vain. The lightning serveth but to show the glories of his countenance. His name is resolution. He cometh from the utmost part of the earth. He seeth happiness afar off before him. His eye discovereth her temple beyond the limits of the pole. He walketh up to it. He entereth boldly, and he remained there forever. Establish thy heart, O man, in that which is right, and then know the greatest of human is to be immutable. And in this context, immutable, it means you're firm. You're not mutating to something else. You just stay got foundation.
It's like Mafia Incredible Album.
Right.
Hey.
I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. But yeah, brother, hopefully that, how you feel about that, brother Shalom? Because that was divine. Like, that chapter was queued up, what you brung up, what Benjamin Bay brung up. You know, the ethers just said you needed to hear this, you know.
Yeah.
Anybody
the sun is in Capricorn, so your vitality has to be firm because it's ruled by Saturn. So what's going to bring you back around to the choice you need to make. We all know it's just like, are we really going to accept what come with it? Whether that be the good or the bad, I'm going to accept the journey of just staying the course or just throw away what I've been doing. Same effort, just what you're going to do. It's easier said than done. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, man. And that's the whole part of the brotherhood and sisterhood is to assist, man, because it can get rough out here, man. Everybody's not as strong mentally.
It's really like a daily walk,
Yeah, man.
Sure. Could you be like, oh yeah, I'm peaceful, and then turn the corner, somebody try to disturb your peace, so you're like, a split second, and you got to polarize. A constant state of practice and peace, instead of peace, where like, I'm in a constant state of practice and peace. We had to get Bruce Lee out here or something like that.
Brother Abdullah, you got?
Yes, I put the link in the chat. The YouTube link is in the chat for the recording of our class study group on Thursday. All right.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, everybody can download it while it's on the chat. You can hit the link.
Yes. And you can share it. The group, it's a closed study group, but the material, the videos, the recording, and the materials will be shared to everybody. We're not restricting the flow of information. We're not restricting the flow of information. So the recording and the materials will be shared to anybody. You'll share it and share it. We're not restricting the flow of any information. It's that we just wanted a certain level of people on this advanced study group. We will have an introductory, study group. I was in New York 2 weeks ago, and 30 people signed up for an introductory study group, which will start soon, and that'll be open. All right. So those who are part of the advanced, or people like yourselves who've been with us, people who've been studying for a while. So we just want to make sure that people who are in the part of the advanced are serious and focused, but we will have an introductory study group.
Wow, that's a lot. Any other thoughts before we close out in prayer here?
Oh yeah, my next study group will be the next session. I'm going to be teaching. I'm going to show that the United States Constitution is not our Constitution. I'm going to show that, not say it, not only say it. I'm going to show that. I'm going to show that that is a colonial instrument. I'm going to show through documentary evidence that that is a colonial instrument that deals with the maintaining colonial conquest of our land. The Northwest Ordinance. The Northwest Ordinance. The Ordinance of 1784. Ordinance of 1785. The Northwest Ordinance of 1787. That was a sticking point that deals with the Northwest Territory, where Great Britain got from France. When Great Britain defeated France, and then Great Britain relinquished that to Virginia, all right, in the 1783 treaty. The Northwest Ordinance dealt with how to deal with that. That was a sticking point for those in the articles in the Confederation, and that was actually enacted in 1787. So this, it all deals with managing our land, maintaining conquest and control of our land, protecting the interests of French land grants, Spanish land grants, English land grants. It's a colonial instrument. A colonial instrument. We cannot use that instrument to liberate our people, to regain control. What article in the United States Constitution or articles or whatever can be used to regain control of our land and natural resources. It's all about the land. It's all about the land. For them, all right, for them, it's all about the land. For them, it's all about the land. For them, it's all about maintaining. So United States is the instrumentality to maintain the Spanish interest, French interest, British interest of our land. Their Spanish land grants, letters of patent, French land grants. So the United States is the colonial arm to maintain that. The United States Constitution is the colonial instrument to maintain that. They operate within the United States Constitution to maintain control of our land. It's about the land. The land is everything for them. All right, for them, it's about the land. It's about the land. What did they do with the Northwest Ordinance Territory, Michigan? They created 5 states, and then what? They populated with immigration, meaning that we're not part of that. We're not part of the discussion at all. We're part of what? Them what? Take it from us. They take. The King George III. King George III, in the Royal Proclamation of 1763, he reserved land for us. The greedy ass European British subjects wanted that land. They wanted the land reserved by King George III for us in the Royal Proclamation. They wanted, the greedy ass European British subjects wanted that. That was a major part. George Washington was a surveyor. George Washington belonged to the Virginia Survey Company. George Washington was instrumental in his survey company, was instrumental in leading the Revolutionary War, which because they wanted that land, that reserved land that was reserved in the Royal Proclamation of 1763. We must understand the true history. It's all about the land. And that United States Constitution is the instrument in which they use to maintain, to deal with disputes. New Jersey, all right, dispute, a land dispute between South Carolina State and North Carolina State. Land dispute about what? About our land. They're disputing about the land. All right, so what do they bring to court? What did North Carolina State and Virginia State bring to court? The land, the North Carolina County Charter, the South Carolina County Charter. Within the county charters are the boundaries. That's what they're disputing about, our land. So it's having the proper knowledge, brothers and sisters, so that we can move. We're highly intelligent people. We just been given improper direction for 25 years, from age 25 to age 50. I spent that part of my life teaching misconcepts to thousands of conscious and unconscious Moors. You got to understand how passionate I am, brothers and sisters. You got to understand how passionate that I am to teach misconcepts. The people, 5 years of my life, I go to bed crying.
Islamism, God.
Islam.
Damn, if I ever teach another misconcept, my brothers and sisters, do this for me. Do this a favor. If I teach another misconcept, I want you to come over here to Philadelphia and bring a baseball bat and swing it at my head. And please don't miss. Bring a baseball bat. In fact, I'll pay your airline ticket.
You're a supreme God. They can't even see you, God. They can't see or touch you. You know, invisibility
airline ticket.
They can't see you, God.
For you to bring a baseball bat and swing it at my head, and please don't miss. I'm dead serious, but I'm not teaching no misconcepts for nobody.
Hey, Hey, brother Abdullah, let me ask you a question, brother Abdullah. This is Larry Gay. Quick question: is the Moorish zodiac constitution, is that an option, a viable
All right,
option to
let me
use?
I'm glad let me answer that. Let me answer that. The zodiac constitution is in the sky, brother. We talked about this earlier. It's not on you cannot just follow me. Please just follow me. I'm not being funny. Please just follow me. You cannot take the sun. You cannot take the actual sun and put the actual sun on a piece of paper. You cannot take the actual moon and put it on a piece of paper. I do know what you mean, but just follow what I'm saying. Just follow what I'm saying. All right. The zodiac is in the sky. The zodiac is the constellation, what we talked about earlier, the 12, a band of 12 grouping of stars is in the sky. That's the constitution of the zodiac is in the sky. You cannot put that on a sheet of paper. You cannot take the actual 12 bands and put it on a sheet of paper. I do know what you mean, but follow what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I'm directing you to its origin. I'm directing you to its origin. You cannot take the 5 cycle of Venus, right behind my feet, behind you, brother Salim. All right, that is not the real. That's not the real. That represents what? The 5 cycles, the 584-day cycles between the Earth and Venus alignment that occurs in 8 Earth years. Let's first go to the real. All right.
Yep.
I just want to give y'all proper epistemology. Epistemology, a branch of philosophy, how one knows knowledge. Want to direct you to its origin. You know, because we locked in on the zodiac constitution on a piece of paper.
And those
Meaning, let's go to the origin first. Go to the origin. Let's the origin.
That's the real physical aspect of as above, so below. Being affected.
Thank you, my brother.
While we down.
Thank you. You got it. Brother,
thank
you. You got it. Thank you, brother. You got it.
Wow.
See, it's not a lot. It's not a lot. It's proper concept, but it's not a lot. I'm gonna say this, my brother and sister. It's not a lot. It's proper concepts. It's not a lot of information. It's proper concept. When you're not given proper information, when you're given misconcepts, you cannot grow. As I didn't grow for 25 years, I was locked into we the people of the United States, all the Moors, that's the Moors, and United States of America, that's the states. Yeah, on the back of the Federal Reserve note, the pyramid, that's the Moors, and the eagle, that's the European, that's the states. See, the federal government, that's the Moorish government, and the state government, that's the Europeans. I taught that misconcept for 25 years. The states formed the federal government. We the people of New Jersey. We the people of South Carolina. We the people of North Carolina. We the people of Pennsylvania. We the people of Rhode Island. We the people of Massachusetts. We the people that formed those 13 we the people invested, extended more power, the more perfect union. They already had a union. And under the Articles of Confederation, they wanted to create a more perfect union. So that instrument was about creating they meant to create a more perfect union, to create a stronger central governing body. So all of the states delegated more power to the central governing body. So we the people, all 13, are vested in we the people make up we the people of the United States. I gotta teach it, my brothers and sisters. I gotta teach it.
Wow.
My dying breath. On my dying breath. I said, my dying breath. I will not teach another misconcept.
Islam, Noble. The things on paper only represent the things that are real, and it's like the things on paper are only an embodiment of what we really say and speak. So the paper, like affidavits of truth, it's only about what it really is. So the paper
but masters of conscious Moors don't see it like that though. I hear what you're saying. You're right, but but it hasn't been presented like that where you know, because there's a zodiac constitution, and then you direct them to the. I mean, they're not directed to the sky though. They're not directed to the sky, and that they're not directed that between each zodiac, between each constellation, I mean, between each band, there's there represents 1,800 nautical miles. They don't know that that constellation was used to measure the circumference of the earth. So they're not drawing knowledge from it, of its application. That's where I'm coming from.
Islam.
Islam. I appreciate that, brother Abdullah. Any other thoughts before we close out?
I'm good, y'all. I appreciate y'all.
Appreciate
I'm
you,
just
brother.
passionate, brother.
Appreciate you,
I'm just
Noble.
passionate because I love our
I love
people.
the
I love
passion.
y'all. I love our people. My passion, I will never apologize for my passion, ever. I will never apologize for my passion.
Ain't no point of doing this if we can't be passionate like that.
That passion is the love that I have for our people. I'm ready to die for our people.
Islam.
Well, I'm gonna close out in prayer, and we can adjourn the meeting for today. Whoever doesn't got the links in the chat, please just download them. Information in the chat. Whoever hasn't done that so far, and then we can go ahead and close out. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Noble Jew Ali. Amen. Peace and love, everybody.
Peace and love, Nobles. Appreciate y'all.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
Peace to everybody on Sunday, next Sunday. And yeah, like I say, it's tap in. Anybody can reach out to me during the week. We can chop it up on any level. Peace and love. Everybody have a beautiful rest of their Sunday. Islam.